Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are South.
Welcome to the Seattle of southwestern Pennsylvania. It's Pittsburgh, but the skies are lightening, and hopefully no rain will follow as the Braves and Buccos wrap up a three-game set here at PNC Park. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe. Unfortunately, plenty of rainy days for the Braves on this road trip. Atlanta is winless so far through Washington and the first two dates with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Atlanta's got to find a way to solve their road woes if they want to get back in the Eastern Division race.
Let's go home on a happy note, because the Braves do go home and take on the first place Nationals, and a good way to get in a good mood is to win today. But the road has not been kind to the Braves. 16 and 25 on the road so far on the year. Now their batting average, runs scored, yeah, there is a little bit of a difference there, but not drastic. The difference is probably most noticeable in the pitching, and you see the drastic difference in home runs allowed. And it's kind of hard to figure out that one, except that the Turner Field is not a hitter's ballpark. It's a pitcher's ballpark. Boy, a ton of homers allowed on the road. Let's hope today that Alex Wood could get the team turned around, snap this 5-game losing streak, which is the longest of the season, and go home happy.
Jeff Locke is the opposing pitcher for the Pirates. He's had early inning trouble, and he's had trouble beating the Braves. Hopefully those things will come true in Game 3. It's the series wrap-up. The Braves and the Pirates from PNC Park, and our first pitch on Sunday is coming up. Of the season series between the Braves and the Pirates. Atlanta wants to get into the win column. It's been a rough road trip. Swept in Washington, and have dropped the first 2 here at the hands of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Jace Peterson will lead off the Braves Academy Sports and Outdoors starting lineup. Cameron Maben bats second. Nick Markakis third. Chris Johnson with the left-hander on the mound is the cleanup man today. A.J. Brzezinski, Pedro Siriaco at third base, Gomes in left, Simmons at short, and Alex Wood will face former Braves farmhand left-hander Jeff Locke.
Jeff Locke's 27 years old now, 6 feet 195. Pirates are wearing some old throwback Three Rivers Stadium Pirates uniform, kind of like the uniforms they first wore when they went into that new ballpark. He's out of North Conway, New Hampshire, in his 3rd year in the big leagues, a former 2nd-round pick by the Braves back in 2006. 3 starts in day games, bad ERA, 7+ ERA. First innings also a problem, so maybe this is the day the Braves jump on a starting pitcher early.
Here's the Pirates defensive lineup. As we mentioned in our opening comments, Andrew McCutchen is back in the lineup. He'll be in center field after being hit by a pitch for a 2nd consecutive day by Julio Teheran yesterday. Gorkis Hernandez and Starling Marte flank him in right and left. Kong gets the start at third. Mercer at short. Harrison and Rodriguez on the right side of the diamond. And Francisco Cervelli is behind the plate. Tough guy, Andrew McCutchen. Had a great quote when asked by the Pirates press after the game last night. What are you going to do about pitchers hitting you? He's been hit, I think, 8 times this year. He said, maybe I need to go out and drop kick a pitcher. That'll get him to stop pitching me inside.
Well, 2 nights ago he got hit right in the middle of the back. Yesterday he got hit right on the point of the elbow, and that was in the 1st inning, and he was unable to continue because his arm went completely numb. But back in there today.
And he did say after the game he may start wearing a protective elbow guard, and perhaps he could take over the ones used by Jose Tabata. His former outfield mate was designated for assignment earlier today.
McCutchen hasn't worn one before because he said it's uncomfortable when he hits, but he may have to do that today.
You can see the left elbow has a protective sleeve of some sort. And good to see one of the game's great players in the lineup for the final matchup of the year against the Braves. Jace Peterson leads off for Atlanta. Jace had a good day yesterday. A bases clearing double in the 7th, part of his 2-hit attack. And Locke delivers a strike, and we're underway. 63 degrees. And that skips up there, an even count for Jace Peterson. The 2 hits Jace got yesterday are the first and only hits he's had on the road trip for the Braves. Offense has been a problem. The Braves have scored 8 runs in the 5 games on the trip so far. But Freddie playing matchups today. He's got a couple of guys in there who hit lefties well ordinarily, and Gomes and Chris Johnson. We'll see if this combination works as the Braves try to come home, as Joe said, on a happy note today. That fills up the count.
He has walked a lot of guys. Locke, 30 walks in 78 innings. Low 90s fastball, a good changeup, and a curveball.
Bouncing ball towards short. Tricky hop. Quick release. And Rodriguez the stretch at first. That retires Peterson. And we're underway with a ground ball out to short.
I was talking to Jace after the game last night. You know, he made an error late in the ball game, and I said the infield had to be just in horrible shape. He said you can't believe how awful it was. Starling Marte with that slide to second base just about broke his neck when he stuck at second.
We were commenting before the game started. The infield looks to be in pretty good shape for today's game, although still a lot of heavy moisture spots at first base and at third base. You can see the real dark discoloration of that infield dirt. This might be a little sticky in those spots for the first baseman and third baseman respectively.
There can't be any drying agent left in Pittsburgh anywhere. This poor ground crew has used everything they've got.
Well, luckily they get out of town after the game today. They go to Detroit, do the Pirates. They start a series with the Tigers on Tuesday. That's outside for Maben. 2 balls and a strike. And we're not out of the woods weather-wise today. There's heavy rain all around the Pittsburgh area. Hopefully we can get it in without delay. As Locke's gone to another deep count. 3-1.
Locke pitched in Atlanta, got a no decision. Braves won the game 5-4, their only victory over the Pirates. He pitched into the 7th inning, gave up 4 of the runs.
And he walked Maben. 1 on, 1 out for Nick Markakis.
We showed you those numbers for the Braves on the road, and the offense has been pretty comparable home and away. Runs scored, batting average certainly was that way, but the bottom line is the Braves have lost 10 of their last 12 on the road, and it's been very costly on this particular road trip because the first 3 were in Washington.
Braves had a chance to win the first 2 games against the Nationals, couldn't get it done. And have come to Pittsburgh and run into a Pirates buzzsaw, a club though that was struggling just as badly as Atlanta was.
But the Braves lost in 10 innings in game 1. They had a chance with that one too.
Yeah. So we'll see what kind of toehold Cameron Maben can get at first base as he measures off his lead. Terry Pendleton with a stopwatch lets him know about Locke's times to the plate. Cameron stolen 13 bags. He's got a good lead.
The read off of a left-handed pitcher is that if his right foot, his front foot, comes back and crosses the plane of the pitching rubber, you can go. Because he has to go home when he does that. But if he comes straight up and the foot does not cross the plane, he can do either. He can go to first, he can go to home, and that's where the deception lies if you're a good lefty. Cameron doing a little landscaping over there too to make sure he's got some good footing.
No balls and a strike. And downstairs for Markakis. It's an even count. Nick's had multi-hit games in 3 of the last 5 he's played for the Braves. And his RBI in the 3rd inning yesterday was his first since June 17th. He has 22 of them now and a fast runner at first.
Let's take a look at our first Sherwin-Williams painting the corners today. Did he? Nope. He got a piece of tape on that edge.
Locke is pitching awfully fine here in the 1st inning. And that missed low. 3 balls and a strike.
Fine and slow, working very deliberately.
Chris Johnson's the on deck batter. There was a time earlier this year, in fact it might have been before Locke's start in Atlanta, where he may have been pitching for his spot in rotation for Pittsburgh. Three balls and a strike, and a bouncing ball toward Rodriguez. Good angle to throw. There's one. Locke didn't get to the bag, and Markakis in safely at first. Locke caught that ball in front of the first base bag, never got a foot to the pillow. 2 are out.
Pitch was down, bottom of the zone. Nick topped it and right to Rodriguez. But the return from Mercer was on the fly, and you're right, Locke just didn't get there in time to find the base.
So the lead runner's retired. 2 outs for Chris Johnson. Chris in the lineup because he wears out left-handed pitching ordinarily.
I would think if you're Ray Searage and Clint Hurdle, when the guy's given up 9 runs in the first inning in his first 14 starts, those walks are what trouble you the most, that he's not being aggressive enough. Deep counts.
That's why I use the term fine. You know,
yeah.
Get your best country fastball early and establish that. As you see, Chris Johnson's work against lefties, our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Only Troy Tulowitzki with a higher batting average than Chris since the beginning of last season.
Sharply hit to short. Nice diving stop, Mercer, and a throw to second in time. Can't hit it any harder than Chris Johnson just did, and Jordy Mercer and his Pirate defense having a remarkable weekend series. Atlanta out of luck in the first. Here comes Alex Wood. No score. Marte, Cervelli, Mercer, Rodriguez, Gorkis, Hernandez, and Locke, the pitcher, will hit 9th.
Alex Wood, 3 career starts against the Pirates, has not picked up a W. 3.38 ERA, 2.54 opponent's batting average against. Coming off a start against Washington where I thought he really gutted it out, Chip. He went 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, and didn't have his best stuff, but held Nationals to 3.
Problem in that game for Alex, he was in the stretch immediately in just about every inning that day.
But I thought he really showed some maturity.
Fly ball well hit toward right. Maven will take over in right center and makes the play for first out.
Really grew up some in that start. Let's take a look at his 4 keys to pitching success today. He won June 1st. He hasn't won since. So this is his last June start. Let's put a capper on this end of the month with a W. And he's got to have real good off-speed command today because of that first pitch success that this team has. You can't just throw first pitch fastballs all day long.
One there to Jung Ho Kang, the Pirates' third baseman, batting .268 for the year. And he just got hit. The Braves are plunking the Pirates at an alarming rate.
Sure are.
McCutchen twice in as many games. Gong here. They also got Neil Walker in game 1 of the series.
Clint Hurdle's description of this yesterday when McCutchen got hit was, yeah, it causes a few people to bow up. That was the word and term he used. And boy, did they ever when they went on to score 5 runs in the first. And he does have an elbow guard on.
That's only the second hit batsman for Alex this year. So here's Andrew McCutchen. Let's see how he swings the bat for Pittsburgh. It was his left elbow. You see the new elbow guard for him. I mean, McCutchen was very philosophical about it. Easy for me to say. Look, I know that I struggle on inside pitches. That's how teams want to try to retire me and get me out. But pitch from Tehran was way in. That one hit way out toward right, but playable for Markakis, who backs onto the warning track. Sharply hit. Gong back to first with 2 outs. And here's the Atlanta defensive lineup in game 3 of the series. Markakis in right, Maben in center, Johnny Gomes is in left. We'll get a look at Pedro Siriaco at third base, Chris Johnson at first, and A.J. Brzezinski behind the plate. Here's Starling Marte.
Another instance with McCutchen on a first pitch swing and good contact.
One ball, no strikes for the Pirate left fielder. Home run cut, didn't get it. Marte, like so many of these Pirates hitters, really flourishing in his home ballpark. He's got a hit in 11 of his last 12 games at PNC Park, hitting .460 in that stretch. That's 23 hits in 50 at bats. And he almost got plunked.
If you haven't seen the first 2 games, we've been talking about him. I've been talking about this guy a lot. I think he's a terrific player, and he's getting better all the time.
There's that off-speed pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
5-tool guy. When McCutchen had to come out yesterday, he moved from left field to center field. He's very comfortable there. Good arm. And plays with a lot of confidence.
Alex ready with the 2-2 pitch. And fouled at the plate. Pittsburgh as a club playing with a lot of confidence. They've had a good month. They're 16-8 in June. Unfortunately for them, they play in the wrong division. They can't gain much ground on the red hot Cardinals. They're the first team to 50 wins in our league. They are undefeated against the National League East at home at 11-0. And they haven't lost a day game at home yet this year. Braves would love to change both of those stats today. Runner goes. The pitch outside. Brzezinski's throw off target. And gone with a steal. Got a great jump. And he's in safely with 2 outs. He doesn't run a lot, but when he does, he's always successful. He's 5 for 5 now.
Now, not the best of jumps, but the throw is to the third base side of the bag, as you can see here. And AJ not able to get much on that throw after where it was delivered.
So a full count pitch for Marte with a runner in scoring position. And did he go? He is called out on strikes. Hoy at the plate rings him up, and that's how the inning ends. No runs for Locke, no runs for Wood allowed in the first inning. We go to a scoreless second.
price every day.
We head to the top of the second inning. Everywhere in Pittsburgh, they celebrate the career and life of Roberto Clemente. And our AT&T Universe trivia question: over the last 7 seasons, Andrew McCutchen's one of 2 current National League players that have scored 580 or more runs. Who's the other player to do that?
That's a tough one. Somebody with a high on base percentage, maybe a leadoff hitter, but not necessarily. Although he batted leadoff when he first started and then moved to the 3 spot.
McCutchen, a worthy successor to the legend of Roberto Clemente, 4-time All-Star in as many years for the Pirates. The last Pittsburgh outfielder to be named the All-Star team in 5 straight years was indeed number 21, Roberto Clemente. In the second, A.J. Pierzynski starts things off for the Braves. He'll be followed by Pedro Ciriaco and Johnny Gomes.
Shift on for A.J.
And that's bounced into the seats past the Braves dugout. Foul. 1-2.
A.J. hit the ball hard yesterday. He was 2 for 4. Double his first time, single his second time up. A couple of deep fly ball outs.
Swing and a miss. Locke got Pierzynski.
Good off-speed pitch. I'm not sure if that was a straight change that was up or a breaking ball, but good pitch. Straight change.
Braves are hoping Pedro Ciriaco will add a jolt of offense to the ball club today. When he starts, he hits. Batting .314 overall. He's knocked in 10 runs. He's hitting .324 in his 9 previous Braves starting assignments. And a strike. Didn't mean to. Right off his knuckles. That was a close call. 0-2.
Fortunate that didn't catch some fingers.
Another big crowd in Pittsburgh today. They've gone very well in this series. They went over 1 million in attendance officially yesterday. A little over 70,000 fans the first 2 games of the series. What a difference the last couple of years have made. 5 years ago, we'd see 10,000-11,000 people
You're right.
per game. It is a great testament to the job that the Pirates organization has done. Clint Hurdle and these young Pirates players, they are doing great things. A proud franchise here in Pittsburgh. Beautiful ballpark that we've talked about. Wonderful setting. You said all that was missing was winning.
And they've had better luck with their drafts. You know, they got snake bit there for so long with some of their pitchers. They got a dandy now in Garrett Cole that was a first-round pick.
That's bounced out of play. For so many years, when the Pirates were finishing last in the Central, they were picking very high in the draft, and really other than Chris Benson, there wasn't a high #1 pick that really clicked for the Pittsburgh ball club. As that just missed the inside corner. 2-2.
He got that call in there on the first pitch to Ciriaco, but not that time.
And another off-speed pitch. Might have been another change. Pierzynski and Ciriaco are retired on strikes in the second, and that'll bring up Johnny Gomes. Johnny could use a few hits.
Have you ever seen a first baseman play farther from the bag than Sean Rodriguez right now?
A strike.
I mean, ground ball. He's going to have to cover first. I mean, it's shift or no shift.
Let's take it low. It's 1-1.
That's a record for me.
He's 40 feet off the first baseline.
Yeah, at least.
Two balls and a strike. Locke looks a lot more comfortable in the second. Lights are on at PNC Park. Sun playing peekaboo behind the clouds today. And now the 2-2 pitch. Missed the corner, full count. And ball 4 inside. Locke thought he had him struck out. He was a step or two toward the Pirate dugout. So that's his second pass, and it brings up Andrelton Simmons.
Well off the plate. But see, he got the call. That first pitch to Siriaco, he got the call, so he thought he'd probably get it again and again, and he didn't. So therein lies some of his frustration. But that pitch to begin with wasn't a strike. Now Sean Rodriguez has to come all the way over to the bag.
He's so tired, Locke may have to throw over. Nope. Ball 1. Simmons was the unlucky recipient of a hit by pitch yesterday. After McCutchen got popped, Charlie Morton hit Andrelton in the ankles. Already 40 pitches for the Pirate lefty.
And he keeps pounding that fastball in to set up his changeup away, but he's not getting calls.
And that one missed.
Whoa.
Cervelli held it there for a moment. That looked like it split the plate.
Yeah, it did. Must have been low, I guess.
Ray Searage, the Pirates pitching coach, will visit the mound.
Yeah, low. You don't see too many coaches wearing hoodies on June 28th. 63 degrees at game time. A little damp.
So Alex Wood will try to help himself with a 2-out hit. He's knocked in 4 runs this year. Jekyll and Hyde inning for Locke. First 2 men were struck out. The last 2 men have been walked. And at the very least, the Braves will clear the pitcher here in the second inning.
Who has 4 RBIs on the year? Not be able to pick up another one here.
He lays down a bunt. Locke has it. Long throw to first is in time, and that'll end the inning. Not a bad idea, but Locke made a nice play to get out of second inning trouble.
Ball game between the Pirates and the Braves with Alex Wood on the mound. And we talked to Alex about how he stays consistent out on the mound when the team's not coming up with wins throughout this road trip. He said, I try to not have too many low lows or high highs. He said, as a team, we've hit and played defense or pitched and played defense. We're waiting for all three to click. But the fun thing is we grind from start to finish, and teams have to work for runs and wins against us. As a pitcher, I have to keep the same perspective every time out, expect the same of myself and of my teammates, guys.
I think that's a great description of this ball club, Christina. I mean, for Alex to put it that way about how they force the other teams to have to earn what they get, it's very accurate.
And Francisco Cervelli will lead things off. He's hitting .306 with 3 homers and 25 knocked in. Good catcher. And he's hit the Braves hard this year. 7 for 12. As I said yesterday, you pay so much attention to Andrew McCutchen and Starling Marte. Some of these other names may get lost in the shuffle. To third. Tricky hop. Siriaco stayed with it. And he got his man for the first out.
You made a good point before the ball game, a very, I thought, astute point, that they always play Dean Martin's Amore when Cervelli comes up, but Francisco's from Venezuela.
So the Pirates music walk-up coordinator must have failed geography.
Could have.
Just a guess. Jordy Mercer bats. He's had some big hits against Atlanta too. And this one's smoked up the middle.
He's hot.
Yep. 6 for 10 now against the Braves in the series.
Clint Hurdle said a couple of days ago that they gave him a couple of days off to try to get his head right, that he was down a little bit, he was pressing, and he thought it was just as important for him to take a couple of days off for his confidence as it was physically.
And that sounds like it would be the exact opposite. You're struggling, son, so why don't you sit down? It's almost like a demotion, but for Mercer, maybe it was exactly what he needed. Here's Rodriguez, first baseman today. His last start came in interleague play against the White Sox, and he played the outfield.
Yeah, that's usually the hitter's counter. How am I going to get out of my slump from not playing? Clint Hurdle, not only a former manager with another club, the Colorado Rockies, but also a hitting coach with a couple of different teams.
Mercer a good lead at first, and the pitch to Rodriguez is up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Clint Hurdle got the Rockies to the World Series. He'd love to do the same with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I only see Pittsburgh 6 or 7 games a season, but my sense is there has been a dramatic culture change within this organization since Clint Hurdle has come in.
Neil Huntington too.
Neil Huntington.
Boy. Yeah, the GM's done a great job.
Wood ready, so's Rodriguez. And a swing and a miss. Good pitch from Alex. Takes care of the Pittsburgh first baseman. That's his second strikeout, second out of the inning. And here's wanted to get the junior PA announcer on the air. Nice job. It is Gorkys Hernandez. Brought up today when Jose Tabata was designated for assignment, and somewhat of a surprising move. Tell you what, the PA announcer this inning has some tough names. You got Cervelli, you've got Gorkys Hernandez. The youngster handled it great. Hernandez was hitting .275 in the minor leagues at Indianapolis. That's the Pirates AAA club now. And he had 5 homers.
It's a lot of homers for him.
Yeah.
Already.
Didn't hit any last year. He's figuring some things out. And the surprising nature of the Tabata DFAing. He was in the middle of a 6-year contract. The Pirates signed him to in 2011. He's making a lot of money. $4 million this year, $4.5 next year, and 3 separate team options that would take him through the 2018 season. All of those options have buyouts attached to them. So every now and then an organization will take a chance, sign a young player, hoping they develop. In this case, for the Pirates and Tabata, it hasn't worked out.
It makes you wonder what else is going on, because he was hitting .289. He just had 38 at bats, but he was hitting right at .290.
Gorkys hit it to the right side and just was retired at first on a bang play. Fine effort by Jace Peterson to go to the outfield grass, a sliding stop and a throw to first. And the Pirates might want to take a look at this one. That was close at first base, but Hernandez was called out by Hirschbeck at first. No appeal. Inning ends, and we go to the 3rd inning. Still no score. he has been.
Just a matter of how far he was going to slide on that wet grass before he could get his feet planted and under him. Good play against a fast runner.
So our scoreless duel moves to the third inning. And it will be Jace Peterson leading off. Grounded out to shortstop Jordy Mercer, his only time up today. Foul ball, strike one. Braves are 10-15 this month. We will play our final game in the month of June on Tuesday night against Washington. Nationals have a busy day today. They've got a double dip. They played a couple of innings yesterday before their game in Philadelphia was washed out. So they start anew today. It's 1-0 Phillies in the fifth. Ground ball to second. Harrison's got it. One out. Pitching matchups for the Washington series. Shelby Miller and Jordan Zimmerman Tuesday night. Matt Whistler, Doug Fister on Wednesday. Max Scherzer is going to pitch for the Nationals. The Braves have not announced who their starter will be.
On Thursday, yeah. So, chance to see Scherzer for the first time this year in Atlanta.
The way he's pitching, that's not a good thing. He is maybe the most dominant pitcher in baseball right now. Another great effort last time out. He took a perfect game into the sixth inning before the Phillies touched him for a hit, a couple of runs. May have been a ground ball foul. And he's behind 0-2.
Tight zone. Not saying he's been wrong and that he's missed anything off the plate, especially when Locke's been pitching, but it is a tight zone.
Did he go? Yep, he did. Maben knew it. Third strikeout for Locke. Two quick outs in the Braves' third.
When you know you've gone around, best to just head to the dugout. When you know it, admit it, or when the umpire calls you on it, then might come back to help you somewhere along the way. You don't beef about that.
Guess what's happening in Pittsburgh?
No.
They surprise you.
Sun shining?
Braves country got two guesses.
Boy, this is quick. It's not even raining down the right field line.
It's unbelievable. That's why I call it the Seattle of Southwest Pennsylvania. Every time we come here, we get rained on. And as the fans head for the concourse, the rain all but stops.
Yeah. Pirates are shifting in mid-count. And it's usually with the left-handed hitters, once the left-handed hitter falls behind in the count, they will move to play him more to pull, as they are doing right now for Nick.
Wind appears to be blowing straight out. Pitch. And that's taken low. 2-2. Strike him out. Two strikeouts in each of the last two innings for Jeff Locke, and he'll lead off the Pirates' third. College night, and the next one's coming up on Thursday, July 2nd. Tickets are only $20 with $10 of added value included, and you'll get to sit in the new college section. Students with a college night ticket also get to run the bases after the game, and that is always fun. Don't miss out on these special nights at Turner Field. Space is limited. Go to Braves.com/college now. Next college night, Thursday with Washington in town. Wood versus Locke here in the third inning.
Locke hitting .095. That's where you say bingo.
Oh, forgot. Bingo. Siriaco got him at first. 1 out.
We were showing you those bridges in the background a second ago, and the Clemente Bridge is one of them. Walking across those bridges is so amazing because, as you see, there's spans, and there's nothing on there that's not steel.
Yeah.
Every connection, every support. Now, the floor of the bridge, of course, is concrete, but every other piece is steel. No cables. Metal connections, rivets, heavy.
Built in a time when this was the cradle of the steel industry. Pittsburgh, of course, the nickname, the Steel City. Football team named for that incredible heritage, the Steelers.
This ballpark, all the ramps, everything the same.
And it's a beautiful walk after the game, win or lose. The bridge is closed off to vehicle traffic until a couple of hours after the game, so the fans are walking back and forth toward downtown. Fly ball toward right, long run Markakis, and Nick can't get there. It's out of play foul. But this ballpark has done so much for downtown Pittsburgh on the south shore of the river, but the north shore too, where the ballpark sits. Football stadium about a half-mile further down the river from the right field foul pole here. But the bars and the shops and the restaurants and the office buildings and the condos, all of that.
Casino.
Science.
What's the big screen thing?
Oh, like an IMAX?
Yes.
IMAX theater?
Yeah. And Science Center over by the casino. It's beautiful.
So this truly has been a remarkable anchor for urban redevelopment in Pittsburgh. Obviously, the better the team plays, the more fans come out, and then they discover how nice an experience a trip to the ballpark in this area can be again, which is just super.
They did a nice job on their planning by tearing down Three Rivers Stadium, which sits between the baseball and the football field, and that's parking for both.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and a cut and a miss by Harrison. Good pitch by Wood. And Harrison's retired. Alex has his 3rd strikeout. That's funny. We talk about this ballpark, Three River Stadium. This date in 1970 was the final game at Forbes Field.
Is that right?
Which was the home of the Pirates for so many years.
So maybe that's the commemoration for the uniforms today.
Could be.
Well, no, that wouldn't apply to Forbes. Beg your pardon.
Pirates swept the Cubs in a doubleheader that day. And a bit of, well, maybe not scheduling irony, but certainly scheduling of historical importance. The Cubs also played the final game at Three River Stadium. And beat the Pirates that day 10-9.
Well, when they broke open Three River Stadium and they broke out these uniforms, everybody was like, well, what are they wearing? Pajamas? What's going on here? The double knit uniforms.
Oh yeah, the V-necks, right?
Just what they've got on today. You know, the snaps in front. There's no belt loops, just elastic waists.
That's right.
And pullover shirts. And everybody was like, what are they wearing? But boy, they were comfortable and set the trend.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
I think Andrew's going The stirrups today too looking good in him.
Alex Wood's looking good too.
Yes, he is.
He struck out 4 men. Our scoreless duel heads to the 4th. After 3 innings, we head to a scoreless 4th inning in Pittsburgh. Star Wars fans, join us at Turner Field this Friday, July 3rd, and dress up as your favorite Star Wars character and march in a pregame parade around the field. The ticket package includes a limited edition Jason Grilly Rebel bobblehead, a ticket to the game, and that gets you onto the field for the pregame parade. Visit Braves.com/Star Wars today.
I got a little trivia for you on Star Wars. I was reading something the other day. George Lucas, of course, produced that, and R2-D2.
Yeah.
That was actually the name of one of the series of efforts they were making to try to find a robot and his number as it came up. Well, this is R2-D2. I don't know if that's research and development, but they decided to keep it. That's how he got his name.
Really? Just by chance. It wasn't some clever marketing ploy. It just happened. That's pretty cool. As Chris Johnson starts things off in the Atlanta 4th, he hit a bullet to shortstop that Mercer turned into an inning-ending force play in the 1st. And Chris with a shot to left. Big turnaround first. He'll head back. And that is the first Braves hit of the day. He's had a bunch of base runners. Those have been with walks.
Breaking ball too, and Chris went down and laced it. He made a big turn at first just in case the ball got bobbled and left. And today, with all that drying age that's still on the field, you better be careful in terms of how long it might take you to stop. I don't know how good the footing is.
No shift for AJ, at least not yet, as Locke missed low. Ball 1. Washington 1, Phillies 1 in the 5th inning at Citizens Bank Park. The only other National League game in progress. Dodgers 1, Marlins nothing in the 5th. That's Zach Greinke pitching for LA today. Marlins beat Clayton Kershaw last night. The Reds take on the Mets and Steven Matz.
And they've got to finish a game. Their game got delayed, and it was suspended, so they'll pick it up
correct
where they left off.
Yep, the Reds and Mets, that was 1-1 yesterday in the 7th inning. So they got to finish that one. Then you're right, Joe, play the regular game after. Two and one. That took a tricky hop and bounced into the stands past the camera well. And of course, a great fielding Braves fan was there to save the day. Look at that cue shot toward third. A thing of beauty for A.J. Przinsky. even he's laughing about it.
And hit Terry Pendleton like, did you see that? Yeah. That'll teach you to shift on me. Cued right off the end of the bat.
So the best chance of the day for the Braves offense. 2 on, nobody out. He showed bunt and took a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Braves are seeing a lot of pitches from Jeff Locke today. And there's the bunt. And the pitcher will make the play, and his throw to first is just in time. Siriaco will be credited with the sacrifice. And Johnny Gomes now an RBI chance.
Braves were thinking about having that play at first reviewed, but not so. Johnny's been scuffling a little bit, but his at bats have been sporadic, so it's been kind of hard to stay consistent.
Ground ball toward third. Pirates are coming home. And that's an easy peg of Chris Johnson. Johnson out at the plate. Gomes at first on the fielder's choice. Przinsky at third. And now there are 2 out.
Going on contact. Otherwise, if he wasn't, he would still be there. We have 2 runners in scoring position.
So now Simmons hits first and third. Let's see if he can pick up Gomes. A swinging strike. 0-1.
In some ways, it works out where they will pitch to. You would assume it appears they're going to pitch to Simmons. If Chris had not run and they threw Gomes out at first, got a base open, they walked Simmons and pitched to the pitcher with 2 out.
So everything in that sequence worked out to the Pirates' favor, and now they're a strike away from getting out of a big mess. Ground ball deep short. Mercer's got it. Jump throw to second, and in time. Gomes waiting hard at second base, and he had an awkward slide.
May have hurt his back.
Johnny Gomes with a flesh wound.
He did a face plant because this dirt, we've already seen how it works. It just sticks. There's no sliding, and knocked the bark off.
So the Braves played for a run in the 4th inning, couldn't get the ball out of the infield, and now turn things back over to Alex Wood with the Heart of the Pirates order up. McCutchen, Marte, and Cervelli. McCutchen hit the first pitch to deep right back into Pittsburgh first.
Alex has had a good fastball today. He's used it to set up other pitches, but he's had good location and good movement with it.
Mile high fly ball to center. I mean, mile high. Look at that baby carry. He hit it high, and the wind took it out to the warning track. If his elbow's bothering him, you wouldn't know it by the tape measure fly ball outs he's made today.
No, and it looked like a breaking ball too, so he might have been fooled a little bit.
Marte struck out in the first. He's done good work against lefties. Marte 17 for 52.
Yeah, you look at their averages from top to bottom, starting with Harrison, 340, 308, 326, 333, 389 through Cervelli against lefties.
And he's going to be out on strikes with a throw to first. Wood strikes him out for a second time, and that's 5 for Alex today. Alex is set down 7 straight.
Fastball in, kind of set that up, kind of knocked him off the plate, and came back with an off-speed breaking ball.
Talked a lot about the Pirates and their good play and their misfortune at trying to catch the Cardinals. They've got the Cardinals for 4 games at home, the last 4 games before the All-Star break. They only have to go to St. Louis one more time. That's in August. And then on the final homestand for the Pirates, they've got the Cardinals and then the Reds. So the Buccos will have a chance to do some damage head-to-head with St. Louis. Getting a little traction before the break. And then what they hope will be a very big final week against St. Louis.
You say before the break is at St. Louis?
It's home. It's against the Pirates in Pittsburgh.
Well, they've only played them 3 games on the road, so they got more than one more trip to St. Louis.
Let's see if I missed one. Yep, I did in September. Beg your pardon. Thank you, Joe. Yep, September 4th, 5th, and 6th. That was hidden in the middle of a trip between Milwaukee and Cincinnati. So, yeah, they've got 2 trips to St. Louis and 7 games with them at home.
And I wouldn't say that you want to play the Cardinals, not the way they're going, but they need to play the Cardinals to try to cut into that deficit.
Absolutely. Cervelli is called out on strikes.
Great inning.
Great inning indeed. 3 up, 3 down for Alex. 2 of those in a row. He's retired 8 straight. good. And we're locked up. No score. Just 3 hits combined. Locke's had base runners all over the place. He's only had 1 perfect inning. That was the 3rd. Atlanta had a great chance last inning. 1st and 2nd. Nobody out, but couldn't break through. Now Alex Wood leads off the 5th and takes the ball inside. You're right. There's hardly any margin for error for these pitchers with the strike zone today.
I think that's why Cervelli was barking at James Hoy about that called 3rd strike on him, is that he's been waiting for that call for his pitcher most of the day.
Alex is down on strikes, and that's how the Braves' 5th begins. 5 punch outs for Mr. Locke today.
Probably had something to do with who the hitter was, but that's the fastest he's worked against the hitter today also. Locke was 7-6 last year for the Pirates, a 3.91 ERA, and he's 22-22 in his career.
His first ever big league win came against the Braves. He beat Paul Maholm October 1st, 2012 here at PNC Park. Out of play, may have broken his bat.
And Paul Maholm was a former Pirate. Braves got another new pitcher today.
That's right. Welcome Ryan Kelly. 27 years young, a veteran of 9 minor league seasons, has 50 career minor league saves. He joins Jake Brigham on the active roster. Sugar Ray Marimon was sent back to AAA Gwinnett. And as we mentioned earlier, the Braves will have another transaction in time for the game Thursday versus Washington. Braves did not want to carry 2 long relief type pitchers on the roster, and that's the role Marimon and Brigham can fill. Kelly's much more of a short relief pitcher. A good fastball, we're told. Fly ball center. McCutchen glides under it and makes the one-handed catch. 2 out.
Boy, how about Janis that's at Lynchburg, Carolina.
Steve Janis made his first start since that horrible bus accident that plagued the Carolina ball club. And he ran his record of 5-0. In fact, Janis with the Class A Carolina ball club, he's a real prospect. He's given up 2 earned runs all year. That's over 37 innings pitched. A remarkable job those players and the staff at Carolina have done after the bus accident. There were a lot of players who were sidetracked for 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, they're playing well now. After the break for the All-Star game, they have a first half and second half, and they're undefeated in the second half, starting over record-wise.
And a couple of other prospects to keep an eye on today if you follow the Braves minor leagues. Both Tyrell Jenkins, he'll start at AA, and Touki Toussaint will make his first start for Rome. Slow roller hit toward third. That's going to stay foul. And Maven back to the plate with a 1-2 count. Manny Banuelos started for Gwinnett. 3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. And his spot in rotation was yesterday. He would be a logical candidate to consider perhaps Thursday, but don't know yet. A couple of starts ago, Banuelos had a masterpiece. 9-inning, 1-hit game. A game he described as the game of his life while pitching for Gwinnett.
Don't forget about Mike Foltynewicz. He could be a possible plug-in also.
And a base hit for Maven. That comes with 2 outs, his first of the day. And he's got a 4-game hitting streak again. And Nick Markakis is the batter.
Cervelli's at the 20% mark throwing out base stealers. But as we've already seen, Locke will throw over quite a bit. Might be tough to get a good jump off of the left-hander, but not a bad time to try.
Fouled away by Markakis. 0-1 your count.
Julio Cruz rule followed there. Julio was a noted base stealer and teammate of mine ages ago, but he always said left-handers don't throw over 3 times in a row.
Really?
Yeah. So when I went to Kansas City and he got on first, I told Paul Splittorff, and he picked him off on the 3rd throw.
No balls and a strike. And it popped away. Maben, secondary jump. He's going to slide in and reach second safely. So that helps. Now a hit for Markakis could score Maben.
That's going to be a pass ball, not a wild pitch.
It is. And now an even count. Did Julio have anything to say to you after you?
Well, he was on the other team at that point, so.
Well, did you tip your cap or anything?
No, but Splittorff came back in and goes, "Thanks a lot."
2 balls and a strike.
Like great Paul Splittorff. He was tremendous.
And a shot into right field, a base hit. That's going to score Maben. And the Braves have broken through. Nick Markakis with an RBI single. A hit, a pass ball, and then a clean single to right gives Alex Wood a 1-0 lead.
And as soon as that ball got through the infield, you could just see the shoulders of Cervelli drop, because he knew that this would not bring in a run were it not for his pass ball. Breaking ball hit hard, and right there Cervelli knows what's coming. Good job by Nick.
So some 2-out offensive work gives Atlanta the lead, and now Chris Johnson bats. He's at the ball hard twice today. He's got a single. Braves had a 1-0 lead here on Friday night. Game the Pirates won in extra innings. As this ball scorched to left again. Markakis around second. He's going to stop there. Chris Johnson back-to-back innings with hits. And 3 straight singles with 2 outs. And here comes Ray Searage again.
Just good hitting by Chris. He hit a breaking ball last time up, and then they were trying to stay with fastballs in, but he couldn't get that one all the way in. So it was down, but out over the plate. Boy, does Chris Johnson wear out some left-handers, man. I was thinking about that rain shower that passed through a couple innings ago. Everybody's scrambling. You know, at Pittsburgh, that happens a lot. It's kind of like those spritzers you get in Hawaii. If you've ever been to Hawaii, the way the clouds and the rain roll down the hill. And that's fine if you're in Hawaii or if it's about 95 degrees in Atlanta. But it's not so great when it's like 63 degrees in Pittsburgh and a little windy.
Yeah, cold and flu season never stops here, does it?
I don't know. It may not. Good point.
I mean, years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Honolulu or Hawaii the Pirates' AAA team?
Yeah, years ago.
Right?
Yeah.
Broken bat, and Rodriguez broke toward the line and then had to redirect himself to the right to make the play. That was odd. A.J. Pierzynski lines out, and that's going to end the inning for Atlantic. A run on 3 hits. Little misdirection play by Rodriguez at first. And we'll continue our thoughts as we say aloha to the top of the 5th.
He's getting pretty good.
Masterful today. He's allowed only 1 hit, and he's retired the last 8 Pirates in a row. The only man with the hit is the man leading off this bottom of the 5th inning, Jordy Mercer. As Joe said, Mercer, a red hot hitter. So years ago, Hawaii, Honolulu used to be the AAA ball club for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, before that, the Padres, I think.
And it's every kid's dream to play Major League Baseball. But you're a 4A player and you get to hang out in Honolulu for the summer, and they call you up to Pittsburgh. With all due respect to the fans of Pittsburgh, it's a beautiful city, but it ain't Honolulu. Just saying.
No, you're ready. You may, if you get sent down, you probably get there a little quicker than
maybe that's right. What was Honolulu like as a baseball town back in the day?
It was good. Originally, they played in the old Hula Bowl.
Okay.
All wood bleachers, giant monstrosity, all wood.
Can't wait to get out of town so we don't have to watch this guy hit anymore. He's just wearing us out.
He's going to stand in front of the Braves bus.
Good start to the Pirates' 5th.
Like a change up. Wasn't a bad location, just up a little bit, but man, he's hitting everything.
How would you handle road trips in the Pacific Coast League with Hawaii?
Oh, years and years ago, just like any other schedule, there were 2 or 3 trips a year over there.
Runner goes. The throw right on the money, and Pierzynski takes care of Mercer. He's thrown out easily. First time Mercer's been gunned down this year. 1 out.
wonder if that was a missed sign. Perfect pitch to throw on for AJ. Quick release. If you get thrown out that far, with all due respect to AJ and to Alex, you probably were trying to make sure you didn't get picked off on a hit and run play that went awry.
As he made his way from the bag to the Pirates dugout, I think he was looking in at the plate. And Rodriguez. So Alex back to his windup now with a 1-2 count for the Pirate first baseman. Two balls, two strikes. And a swing and a miss.
Upstairs.
7 strikeouts for Alex Wood. 2 are out. Time for our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts today.
Most pitchers used. Braves are tied with the Dodgers and Nationals for the most guys they've had on their roster as pitchers, but the Braves have 2 guys right now in the bullpen that have yet to get in a game, so they actually have numbers 24 and 25 ready to go.
And maybe 26 on Thursday.
Yep.
2 outs. Here's Gorkis Hernandez. Ground ball to third. Siriaco loads up. And Alex Wood breezes through the 5th inning. A caught stealing certainly helped. And Atlanta goes to work, trying to extend a 1-0 lead into the 6th. As we head to the top of the 6th inning, Honus Wagner, the Flying Dutchman, one of the greats in the great history of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Braves fans, have you voted yet? You can fill out your 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot now at Braves.com. Voting is exclusively online and available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Vote up to 35 times at Braves.com for your Atlanta Braves. Deolis Guerra is the new pitcher for the Pirates. Jeff Locke is done after 5 innings after allowing only 1 run. But he's on the short end of the ball game right now, and his spot, the pitcher spot, is due first for Pittsburgh in this 6th inning.
Well, it's a little surprising to me. I mean, I know the Braves had some hits the last couple of innings off of him, but only 1 run to show for it. We saw Guerra make his major league debut here yesterday. Gave up a hit, also recorded a strikeout. He struck out Jace Peterson for his first big league K. Fastball changeup curve for Guerra.
Pedro Siriaco gets it started. Another bunt try. It's a beaut. Gog at third. Throw to first. is late. Infield hit for Siriaco, and that's how the Braves' 6th starts. Clint Hurdle contemplating, but no appeal.
Yeah, I don't think that one was even close, but the Braves have tried a lot of bunts today already. With Gong at third, this is a beauty and a base hit. Picked it cleanly, got it over there, but too late.
Here's Johnny Gomes. He's walked. He's hit to a fielder's choice, and he scraped his nose today.
I hope that's all that happened on that slide.
Towards short. Might be 2. And it is. So after the bunt single, Gomes is doubled up, and Andrelton Simmons will stride to the plate.
Pirates and the Braves have been neck and neck on double plays turned all year long.
Not surprising, these two teams have been neck and neck as far as almost every statistical category the last 31-32 games.
Good point.
Two very evenly matched teams. You should know the Pirates with 42 wins. The Braves are trying for their 36th today and trying to snap a 5-game slide.
And the Cardinals are at 50.
Yep. And they play the Cubs tonight. Pretty amazing what Mike Matheny's team has done considering all the injuries they've suffered.
Yeah, and I keep hearing, well, they're going to need another pitcher. They're going to need another bat. Really?
Roller toward third. Gone. Got there, but it's a foul ball. I read something today that a national writer said the Cardinals, quote, need Troy Tulowitzki. They don't need anything right now. They've got a giant lead. Now they may want somebody like Troy Tulowitzki. That's a totally different story.
There's the standings in the Central. Pittsburgh playing as well as they can right now just to keep pace with an 8-game deficit. 10 games over 500.
In a way, that's got to be disheartening, doesn't it?
Oh, sure.
Playing great ball and you're still 8 out.
But all you can control is what you can control. All you can do is play the game in front of you. Win today and then see what happens tomorrow. I mean, can't you see Doc Ellis in that uniform?
Mm-hmm. Two balls, 2 strikes. As a kid, I used to watch Omar Moreno in that uniform patrol the outfield. And he was all legs.
They had some fast guys. Miguel Delaney could fly, also another outfielder.
3-2 pitch. The Cobra, Dave Parker. Still remember his throw in the All-Star game in Seattle from right field. Remember those hats? What they were, the old-fashioned hats in the mid to late 1970s.
We are family.
You got it. Great players, great teams in Pittsburgh. As Simmons shoots one toward right, and that's going to get down for a base hit. And another 2-out single for Atlanta today.
Great at bat. Great at bat for Andrelton. And that's a gapper and at least a double on any other time, on any other day. But the ground is so wet and so soft. That hit, and Hernandez almost overran it. Otherwise, it scoots to the fence.
Like shooting at the pin.
Yeah, no question.
So the Braves clear the pitcher, Alex Wood. He's 0 for 2. And didn't get it. Strike one. Braves about hit the Pirates 7-2. Nick Markakis drove in the game's only run. That was Cameron Maybin back in the 5th. One ball, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Retires the side. The Braves get 2 hits, but nothing else. Bottom of the 6th inning in Pittsburgh. Also the home of the great Willie Stargell. Pops, they called it. 1-0 your score.
Atlanta Braves baseball is presented by Hyundai.
1-0 Braves behind Alex Wood. He's firing a 2-hitter so far. He's got 9-1-2 coming up for the battling Buccos.
Steve Lombardozzi will pinch hit against him here leading off the 6th, but Alex has been outstanding. I think today it just goes to his fastball. He's complemented his fastball with his off-speed pitches, and he's had good command of those today, but his fastball is what's really been impressive to me today.
Lombardozzi also part of the flurry of Pirates transactions today. They designated Jose Tabata. Told you that. They also designated Chris Volstad. So 2 roster spots. Gorkis Hernandez got one of them. Lombardozzi got the other. And he'll start the 6th with Harrison and Gong set to follow. Little tapper. Wood's got to wait for gravity. And he made the throw to first in time. 1 out. Josh Harrison's 0 for 2 today. That's not like him. We'll see what we're talking about on the T-Mobile Game Changer stats.
His last 10 games at home, the team's gone 8 for 2 while he's hit 400. Extra base hits, stolen bases, driving runs in, and boy, has he been picking it when he was at third base. First game of this series.
And another day, another fashion statement. Check out the shoes with the white unis today.
Oh, you got something new on? Yeah.
Fly ball softly hit. Who wants it? It'll be Nick Markakis. Those are shoes our old pal, dearly departed Dave Niehaus would have loved. Great Hall of Fame voice of the Seattle Mariners. Loved his white shoes. He'd lose 4 or 5 pairs a year, but he'd always find a place to get them reset up. And action the Pirates pen with 2 outs.
Boy, you check out Vance Worley. He's got some stirrups working today too, with some high top shoes.
Jung Ho Kang has struck out and has been hit by a pitch.
Good fastball.
Throw it till they show you can hit it. Pirates have it today. Another one, same spot. 1-2. Rip to right. It's going to hang up for Nick, and he's got it. And another easy inning for Alex Wood. Top of the order up for the Braves, and we head to the 7th. It's 1-0. July weekends right around the corner. Hope you'll join us at Turner Field for the Braves and the Phillies beginning Friday, July 3rd through Sunday, July 5th. What better way to celebrate Independence Day weekend than by celebrating America's pastime and the best fireworks show in the Southeast. Go to Braves.com/tickets and plan your 4th of July trip to Turner Field. 7th inning. Braves lead by a run. And now it's Vance Worley's turn to pitch.
He's been in and out of the rotation. 14 games, 7 starts. Check out those socks and shoes. Awesome.
I'm with you on the socks. I can't do the shoes. I'm sorry.
You can't go high tops.
I can't. No, I love Bill Buckner to death, but I just can't do it.
I'm kind of with you on that one.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Vance Worley, with incredibly weak ankles, delivers the strike to Jace Peterson.
Fastball, slider, and assorted others.
I think that was part of the secret to the Boston Celtics' success all those years ago. First, the fly ball to deep right center field. Gorkis Hernandez back, and that's going to sail out. Hit it high and watch it fly. Jace, a long home run, and Atlanta has extended the lead. It's 2-0.
That was kind of a high topper. Got it up in the wind. Wind's blowing out that way. He hit it hard and it carried. His third homer.
Went down and got it too.
Did.
So a good finish to what had been a frustrating offensive road trip for Jace Peterson. 2-0 Atlanta now for Cameron Maybin. Do you remember the Celtics with Kevin McHale and Larry Bird and Robert Parrish? All of them wore black shoes. Made them look slow. They weren't. One ball, one strike. To short. Mercer to his left. Boy, he gets rid of it fast, doesn't he?
He's had some kind of good series with the bat and with the glove. He's an Okie, you know.
Is he? One out. Nick Markakis has the other Braves RBI today. That was in the 5th. Good American League game today in Houston where the Yankees are playing the Astros. That one's 1-1. The Astros with a 4-game lead in the AL West. The Yankees a half game behind Tampa Bay in the East. Congratulations to Brian McCann. Yesterday he hit his 10th career grand slam. For New York. That's low. 3 balls and a strike.
Vance Worley broke in. He broke in with a bang with Philadelphia back in 2011. He had a few games the year before, but then went 11-3 with the Phillies in 2011, and he's really never been able to regain that form.
Think about being able to break in with a staff like that. Halladay and Lee and Hamels. I think Kyle Kendrick might have been on that staff then for the Phillies.
They traded him to Minnesota for Ben Revere.
Full count pitch. And spoiled that.
And I should give him credit for a good year last year with Pittsburgh. After they called him up from Indianapolis, he went 8-4 and had a sub-3 ERA. Always a bulldog competitor, I know that.
And he just lost Markakis. So the 7th inning not going well for Vance Worley. A homer, a ground out, and a walk, and that brings up Chris Johnson. Chris has had 3 good at bats against the left-hander. Let's see how he fares against Worley. Strike 1. Washington 3-2 over the Phillies in the 7th. Dodgers 2-0 over the Marlins in the 7th. Minnesota and Milwaukee in an interleague game. No score in the 5th. Strike 2. It's a cool story in Milwaukee. Paul Molitor is back in Milwaukee as the manager of the Twins.
That is a good story.
So is the Minnesota club. They're only 4.5 out of first. They trail Kansas City in the AL Central, and Johnson's down swinging. And Worley got him on 3 pitches, 2 out. Pirates have had trouble playing the spin off Przinski's bat today.
That's the truth.
I mean, had that cue shot, Willie Mosconi special down the third base line in the fourth, and then he hit a line drive to first. It was headed for foul ground and curled back toward Sean Rodriguez, who had to dart to his right to make the catch.
Yeah, that was doing that in the air. That was one of the craziest reactions I've ever seen from an infielder.
One ball, no strikes. Ground ball right side into the shift. And charging at second is Harrison, and he makes the play, and that retires the side. Good start to the inning. Jace Peterson hits a solo homer, and we head to the stretch with the Braves up 2-0. For some insurance, and Jace Peterson provided our Toyota key play of the game.
Yeah, it's a big run right now. A little extra breathing room for Alex Wood. Just had a good series here. It was a rough series in Washington, but he's made up for it. 1 for 4 today with a homer, 3 for 13 here.
And let's keep in mind the work of Alex Wood after a disappointing result in Washington. He's been great today.
I have to think that start really helped him. I know it didn't turn out the way he wanted it to, but the way he pitched out of the stretch that whole game, gave up single runs in 3 different innings were the only runs he allowed, and just hung in there all day long and gave the team a chance to win, which they didn't, but he did his part, and I have to think that's helped him today.
You know how many leadoff men the Pirates have had on today? 1. After he allowed 5 of 7 to reach against the Nationals. Here's Andrew McCutchen leading off for the Pirates, and that's the second leadoff man to reach, and that was Scalder. Maben cut it off, and McCutchen hits the ball hard for a 3rd time today, and as you pointed out all series, Pittsburgh aggressive early in the count.
He has smoked 3 balls today. Fastball down at the knees. Ripped.
Alex has had Starling Marte's number today. He's 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Another hit on a first pitch. First and second, nobody out. And here's Cervelli.
2-seamer, almost identical to the pitch that McCutchen hit.
Cervelli entered this series top batting average among all major league catchers. He hit .377 last month, better than all National League players. He's 2 for 6 in the series, 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. Alex would love one here or a ground ball at someone.
See how Clint Hurdle plays it.
He's bunting. It's a good bunt. Wood to first, and just in time. It's a sacrifice.
Yeah, they only had 2 hits all day coming into this inning, so to get the first 2 guys on led me to believe that maybe Clint Hurdle would try what he did, knowing hits have been hard to come by. Alex was set up to throw and kind of got turned ready to throw, but hadn't gotten the ball out of his glove yet, so a nice recovery.
Interesting, the strategies used by Freddie Gonzalez and Clint Hurdle. The Braves sacrificed with their 6th place hitter with 2 on, nobody out in the 4th inning. With Gomes and Simmons coming up, Atlanta couldn't score. Here they sacrifice with their 5th place hitter, but their hottest hitter in the series is the man waiting next, and that's Jordy Mercer. See how the Braves play it.
Yeah, another good reason to bunt with him coming up back of him.
As David Ardsma has begun to throw in the Braves bullpen.
Infield back, they would concede a run for an out. As we talked about just before he got his game-winning hit, the walk-off hit in the 10th inning on Friday night, this guy hit it wherever it's pitched. That's what's made him a tough out in this series.
First 2 pitches lead you to believe that Mercer won't get much to hit. You have a base open. You could play for a double play with Sean Rodriguez scheduled to hit next. Didn't get it. Change up. 2 balls and a strike.
I never like putting the go-ahead run on base. If it's Barry Bonds in his prime, or Mark McGwire when he was on a tear, or Giancarlo Stanton, different story. Mercer
might have helped Alex there. He swung through a 2-0 pitch. Now it's 2-1. And another excellent delivery from Wood. He's had an excellent fastball today.
Yeah, and that's not what he was trying to do, but it certainly was effective. And got him to chase.
Fast runners aboard for Pittsburgh, but now it's a 2-2 count.
I'll try to change his eye level again. That was a good pitch to hit. He was late on it. He seems to change his approach. Mercer does when he gets behind, or in this case even with the count, where he's not even thinking about trying to pull the ball. He's trying to stay inside the baseball, hit it up the middle, which we've seen him do today, or hit it to right field, which we've seen him do earlier in the series. Good approach. Look fastball, fight off everything else.
Strike 3. Wood throws him. Mercer didn't like the call, and he argues that's a big second out. Alex Wood's 8th strikeout.
Upstairs wasn't high. That's what he thought. If he thought it was high, it wasn't. Sherwin-Williams showed you that. What a big out.
8 strikeouts matches Alex's season high set April 29th. And now Rodriguez bats. Wood's gotten him twice on strikes. Pop fly foul. It's an even count.
And you might say, well, why not walk this guy and get a force at every base with 2 out and pitch the guy just got called up? Well, there's a real good chance that if that were to happen, Neil Walker would pinch hit, and you like this matchup better.
One ball, 1 strike. That's outside. They play Rodriguez as an opposite field hitter in the Atlanta outfield. Huge gap between McCutchen and Marte, or excuse me, between Maben and Johnny Gomes. 2 balls and a strike. Ooh.
Make a good pitch here. I mean, if you do walk in, all right. But I think Sean Rodriguez wants to hit the ball and drive in these runs, and he might expand his zone if you make a good pitch. Big swing.
Now it's a full count.
It's been economical all day. So he's got some choices here. He's had a good fastball, as we've said, and he's had a good changeup.
Breaking ball popped him up, and Chase Peterson is there, and Alex Wood with a huge inning.
Great job.
Back-to-back hits, a sacrifice, a strikeout, and a pop out, and Alex Wood continues his shutout bid.
beat the Pirates 2-0 as they look to get a win on this road trip. It has definitely been a tough stretch, but as AJ Przinsky put it to us, sometimes in baseball, the little things don't always go your way. And this game feels sorry for no one. He said it seems like we've had a chance to win almost every game on this trip. It just hasn't worked out. We have to find a way to get that hit or make that pitch. We'll be okay. It's too many games in the season to focus on 3 or 4 at a time, but he said we got to focus on today and one win at a time. So we'll see.
Good points, Christina. Thank you.
And they've done that today, Christina, especially in the 5th inning when they got that clutch 2-out hit from Nick Markakis to get the first run, and they did one of the little things, taking advantage of a passed ball that moved a runner into scoring position.
Pedro Ciriaco starts the 8th for the Braves, and a comeback into the mound. And there's out number 1. I think this game hinges on a couple of things. One, an excellent start by Alex Wood, and the Braves scoring the first run. Those two things I think go hand in hand, but give this team an early lead, they can make it stand up with the best of them.
Makes a huge difference for everybody.
And today it's been Alex Wood's turn. Bullpen continues to work for the Braves as Ciriaco's retired and Johnny Gomes the hitter. Johnny 0 for 2. He walked in the 2nd inning.
Pirates already have 8 sweeps this year, and a win today would be number 9. And the last time they swept Atlanta here was '94.
Off the hands of Gomes. Mercer at short. Got him by a stride. 2 out. Let's get back to the AT&T U-verse trivia question today. Over the last 7 years, Andrew McCutchen's one of 2 current National League players who've scored 580 or more runs. Who's the other player to do that?
I think it's somebody for the Colorado Rockies. Wouldn't that stand to reason?
Yeah, but Todd Helton's retired. It's not Todd Helton.
Yeah, no. I'll go with Tulowitzki, even though he's been hurt a lot.
Say Matt Holliday. It's Justin Upton.
How about that? Didn't have him on the radar.
Nope. Justin Upton and the Padres host Arizona later today. Andrelton Simmons the batter, 2 quick outs, and he takes a little low. Don't count out Arizona. They're only 6 games out of first. Every time they get to the 500 mark or close to it, they fall back a step or 2. D-backs have lost 3 in a row. San Diego at 37-40 is 5.5 back. The Giants are a game behind the Dodgers, who lead in Miami now 2-0 behind Zach Greinke. A leadoff homer in the 7th for Jace Peterson extends the Braves lead 2-0. And a grounder right side. Harrison to his left makes the peg to first, and 3 ground ball outs take care of the Braves in the 8th. inning. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters are coming up for the Pirates. If you haven't heard by now, you might be accused of living under a rock. Star Wars night is coming up July 3rd. It's Friday night. The Philadelphia Phillies will be in town. We invite you to dress up as your favorite Star Wars character. You can march in the pregame parade. That great ticket package includes a Jason Grilly bobblehead doll. Tickets to the game and it'll get you on the field for the pregame parade. We'll hope you join us for a fun weekend of Braves baseball this 4th of July weekend. Bunt try, pegged to first in time. And is that going to be ruled a foul ball, or will the batter runner be called out because the ball hit him out of the batter's box? Let's see what Hirschbeck and Hoy come up with.
It's out either way.
AJ came out of the chute pointing at the hitter saying, hey, ball hit him. And Gorkis Hernandez is called out.
Ran right into it.
So officially that's a put out for the catcher. 2 unassisted, and Neil Walker will pinch hit with 1 out in the 8th. And a strike. Walker, a switch hitter. Much better hitter from the left side. As a righty, he's just 6 for 36.
So Yuri Perez there taking over for Gomes in left. Still action in the Atlanta pen.
Pop fly foul. That's out of play right side. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Skies are darkening quickly at the ballpark, and the wind is blowing more briskly out toward the bullpens. Braves will have to face the big boppers for the Pirates one more time today. That's down the left field line. That ball is going to carry off the fence. Perez got to it quickly. Throw to second late. Walker just missed hitting a home run.
That's why you didn't want him coming up last inning or pitch around guys with the opportunity for him to pinch hit. Another low pitch, though. Not a bad pitch. And he almost hit it out of the ballpark to that short wall. Fortunately, it hit off of it and stayed in the ballpark. But a great day for Alex Wood.
8 strikeouts, no walks in 7 1/3 innings, no runs. And they need some help from the Braves bullpen. Jim Johnson on in the 8th to protect a 2-0 lead. Trust save of the game honors.
Sharp as attack today. Kept the ball down. Had an excellent fastball. That back foot breaking ball and a changeup. 8 strikeouts on the day. No walks. He did hit a batter. That runner at second belongs to him, but an excellent day.
So now Jim Johnson takes over with the top of the order for the Pirates. Jim's on a nice run in relief. Hope he can continue that. And that's an excellent way to start with a sinking strike.
He worked here Friday night. In his first inning, he actually worked 2 innings. His first inning, he gave up a hit, got a double play. The next inning, he gave up a walk and a hit. But that was that weird play where Kong rounded third too far. It was an infield hit, and Uribe made a great play behind the bag and came up and tagged him.
2 quick strikes to Harrison, who's 0 for 3 today. And he struck him out on 3 pitches. So 2 are out, and it'll be Pedro Alvarez to pinch hit for Kong.
That's that 93 sinker, sometimes 94 sinker. Awfully tough.
Pedro Alvarez will pinch hit. He's 2 for 7 with an RBI as a pinch hitter. Overall this year for Pittsburgh, he's hit 10 home runs. He represents the tying run, wind blowing out, and a short porch in right lurking in the Pittsburgh 8th. Walker doubled off the wall in left. The last pitch thrown by Alex Wood. Harrison has struck out. 2 are out in the inning.
Just took a little bit off that pitch from 94, 95 to 88. And actually had him out front.
Popped him up. Simmons goes out. Maben calls everybody off, and he makes the catch. That almost popped out of the glove. Maben a one-handed grab, and the Pirates waste a 1-out double in the 8th. We head to the 9th. Alex Wood and the Braves in command, 2-0.
TUverse, Delta Airlines, and your local Ford dealer.
2-0 Atlanta as we head to the ninth inning. An off day tomorrow for the Braves. Then we welcome the Nationals to town on Tuesday night. We owe the Nats a little payback. Here are your Chevron starting pitchers.
Jordan Zimmerman and Shelby Miller. Great matchup to start the 3-game series. Shelby looking for his elusive, very elusive 6th win. It's taken him a while to try to rack that up. Maybe that'll happen Tuesday night. These guys matched up in Washington. Shelby went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits and 1 run. Zimmerman 8 innings, 6 hits, no runs. Nationals won that game 2-1.
We won't have to worry about Anthony Rendon in this go round.
Yeah.
He was disabled. He's got a quad problem. So the Nationals will be even more shorthanded in that series. So Jared Hughes goes to work in the ninth inning. Kelly Johnson will pinch hit for the Braves. And the first skips and bounces off the backstop. 1 ball, no strikes.
Hughes was very impressive here Friday night. 6 up, 6 down, 5 ground outs and a pop up. Walker stays in the game at second. Harrison to third.
A strike. Pittsburgh has an excellent bullpen. They entered this series with third best bullpen earned run average in the game. Fly ball, that's well hit. Deep toward left. That ball's traveling. That ball is caught by Marte, a step shy of the fence.
This fence drops back drastically at the foul pole. And you can see that angle there. Turner Field, this might have a chance to go out. Nice play by Marte.
Jace Peterson's homer today, his 3rd of the year. Yeah, the wall goes from 383 and left to 325 right at the left field foul pole. And another shot that way. Another chance for Marte. And he's going to make it in foul ground. And there's not much of that in left. 2 tough plays by Mr. Marte. 2 out.
He knows his own ballpark and he knew exactly how much room he had.
Cameron Maybin a 1-for-3 day. He scored the first Braves run. A 2-out 5th inning single. Maybin took second on a passed ball, and then Nick Markakis brought him home with a single to make it 1-0. Bouncing ball to short. Mercer's got it. He loads up and he gets his man, and it's last call for the Pirates in the ninth. McCutchen, Marte, and Cervelli are coming up. Former Pirate Jason Grilli will try to save the day for Alex Wood. It's 2-0 Atlanta. trip. Jason Grilli is on to pitch for Atlanta. He's got to get the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Pirates. First man up is Andrew McCutchen. Let's turn the clock back to Friday night.
First pitch to Andrew. In the 10th inning, tie game, a ringing double, and he did it on the first pitch. And eventually scored on the hit off the wall by Mercer. So the same spot in the batting order, same guys, same matchup. Hopefully it goes Grilli's way today. And as they said in the paper the next day, all these guys were talking about how they know how Grilli likes to work. They know how he likes to get that first pitch fastball in there. And that's what they were looking for.
Andrew McCutchen has been very aggressive early in the count all day. I think he maybe has seen 4, 5 at the most pitches all day.
And has smoked 3 baseballs.
He's 1 for 3. Didn't throw him a fastball that time.
No.
1 ball, no strikes.
Smart move.
Popped up over the Braves dugout, out of play.
It's interesting when you're watching AJ give the sign. Jason, his pattern is Jason Grilli, he looks down and then he looks in for the sign. Well, AJ's watching McCutchen to make sure he's not peeking back at the signs, but he's got to watch Grilli to see when to give the signs. He's kind of going back and forth.
Fly ball center field, but playable for Maben. That one off the end of the bat. And Grilli gets some revenge. He retires McCutchen, 1 out.
Did it with sliders. Big out. He's such a catalyst on their ball club that when you retire him, you may take a little starch out of everybody else.
Big crowd quiet in the 9th inning. 36,082 the official attendance. The Braves and Pirates drew over 106,000 fans for this rain-soaked series this weekend. And we've seen 3 terrific games. The Braves lead this one 2-0. One ball, no strikes. Good pitch.
Best heater. We've seen Marte in this series, though, when he's been behind in the count, hit some sliders hard, almost like he was looking for him when he gets behind.
That was upstairs.
Supposed to be a fastball away. You see Brzezinski set up outside. This almost got away from him. Marte almost walked right into it.
At the knees, even count.
Now let's see if it's a slider. Nope. Oh.
AJ held it there. Grilli thought it was good enough.
Baby.
But the tight zone strikes again.
Sherwood Williams painting the corners. Hello. What a good pitch.
Throw it there again. You might get the call. 3-2. Fly ball right. Markakis on the run. He won't get there. It's out of play.
Boy, tight ball game, ninth inning. And you don't get the call you need on your perfect pitch you make.
To the cleanup hitter, no less.
Yeah. Nice. He shook off a sign like he was going to come back with a breaking ball.
Jason did a great job for the Pirates. He was quoted in the paper the other day after the defeat in Game 1 of the series. How much he loved being a Pirate, how much he and his family enjoyed living here. This will probably be Jason's home when his playing days are done. A big part of the Pirates' turnaround.
Now the slider.
Check swing right back to the hill. Grilly's got it. And his throw to first in plenty of time to get Marte, who was fooled, and there's the second out.
That was a grinded out at bat by the pitcher and catcher against a dangerous hitter and a fast runner who, if he gets on, could wreak some havoc. Stay with fastballs until the check swing there. Great job by both pitcher and catcher.
So Cervelli, the final hope for the Pirates. He had a key at bat in this game in the 7th, key sequence. Pittsburgh had 2 on, nobody out. He laid down a perfect sacrifice, but Mercer and Rodriguez struck out and popped out. And that preserved a 2-run Atlanta lead, which we hold in the 9th.
He had a funny swing at the first pitch, like he was looking for a first pitch slider, and then fastball was thrown right by him. Then he gets the slider and he looked at it. He is on that rocking horse the wrong way, where you're looking and not getting, guessing and not getting.
0-2.
One out to get for a much needed win for Atlanta. He's making good pitches with his slider. He's throwing too hard for Cervelli to look for a slider here. 2-2. Going heater.
Missed with it. Huge pitch.
All he can do is make it 2-1.
And Grilly lost him with 2 outs. Clean innings have been an issue for Jason. His last 1-2-3 inning overall was June 12th against the Mets. That was the game that he won and Williams Perez saved. We're checking to find the last 1-2-3 inning Grilly's had in a save. Our initial findings are April 25th. We're double checking that. But no 1, 2, 3 in the ninth today, and Mercer represents the tying run. He's 2 for 3 with a strikeout. Fly ball, well hit toward the bullpens. Maben back. Perez is there. Ball is off the glove. A run is in. Perez and Maben collide. Perez is down at the bullpen gate. A run scoring double by Jordy Mercer. It's 2-1, but now all attention goes into left center field.
It stayed in the park just close enough for both guys to get there at the same time. Perez was calling for it. Maben was calling for it. And it appears that Yuri got the worst part of it right here. He's saying he's got it. Doesn't want to give up on it. And he hit Maben's glove, and then, boy, Cameron drilled Perez with his shoulder, it looked like.
As soon as play was stopped, Eddie Perez came out of the bullpen to talk to Yuri Perez. Jeff Porter, the Braves athletic trainer, made his way from the first base dugout. And full speed collision at the outfield gate. You see Eddie Perez telling Maben, get the ball back in. He did. But not before the Pirates have scored their first run in the ninth.
He was holding his abdomen or chest, but he might have gotten hit in the face too.
And you see, as the ball got thrown back into the infield, Eddie Perez was waving into the Braves dugout for Jeff Porter. And now Perez to his feet. Eddie Perez, I'm sure, acting as interpreter for Jeff Porter. And Freddie Gonzalez is going to go to his bench. Let's see who he brings on in relief of Perez. The Braves have already used Gomes. They've used Yuri Perez. They've used Kelly Johnson as a pinch hitter. My guess is Joey Tardoslavich would be the most likely option. Let's see.
Jeff Porter was pointing to the dugout as if to say, that's a long way in there. Are you sure you could walk in? He seems to be okay for the moment. Man, Jordy Mercer again.
Any of the ballpark, that might have been a game-tying homer. So it will be Joey Tardoslavich, the last available man who can play outfield for Atlanta. Another look close up at the collision right in front of the Braves bullpen, 400 feet away.
On that look, I don't think he did get hit in the face. I think it was all upper body. Neither guy willing to give up on it with the end of the game on the line.
And you know what? As he made his way past second base, Jordy Mercer came off the second base bag and gave Yuri Perez a verbal pat on the back for great hustle and a great effort. Excellent sportsmanship there from Jordy Mercer, who has brought home the first run for Pittsburgh. Now Roger McDowell is on his way out. Sean Rodriguez, the scheduled hitter, looks like he'll be lifted for Gregory Polanco. The only extra player left for the Pirates will be catcher Chris Stewart. So it's Polanco versus Grilli with the game on the line.
If nothing else, really can throw a few pitches if he wanted to stay loose. Fast runner.
Sorry, Joe. Polanco 1 for 6 in the series and only 8 hits in his last 59 at bats. However, he does have some home run power and the wind blowing out and the right field porch in play.
I thought when Mercer hit the ball it was out of here.
A strike. I'm surprised he didn't get to third. Glad he didn't. Takes a hit to score him. Two-one game, bottom of the ninth. It's 0-2.
Two good fastballs to start him. He's gotten ahead of hitters. He got ahead of Cervelli 0-2 and then lost into a walk. Simmons trying to make sure Mercer doesn't get a big lead.
Polanco fought her off.
And that was not anywhere near a strike, but it was up. I'm guessing they're going to stay with the fastball. And he did. He's been late, and you just don't want to speed his bat up by throwing that slider or trying to drop one in with his back foot. Might speed his bat up and pull one.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Makes that call to Cervelli they didn't get.
Yeah. Fans wonder, oh, one pitch doesn't make a difference in a game. Ooh, boy. Good battle in the ninth. Polanco versus Jason Grilli. Polanco laid off.
Nice stop by AJ. That was the first slider that Polanco has seen.
2-2. Got to throw him a strike. Otherwise, Polanco represents the winning run. Ortiz Hernandez on deck. Mercer doubled to bring home the first Pittsburgh run. He's the tying run. 3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Pierzynski with the peg to first, and the Braves have beaten the Pirates 2-1 your final score. That's a big win. And look at AJ Pierzynski pop out from behind the dish in Pittsburgh. He's high stepping with the high fives, and Atlanta salvages the final game of this series by a 2-1 final score. The Braves hand the Pirates their first home defeat in the bright sunshine. The Braves the first National League Eastern team to beat the Pirates on their home turf. And Jason Grilli with some redemption picks up the save for Alex Wood in a very exciting bottom of the ninth inning. 2-1 the final score at PNC Park. Braves win it. We'll recap it for you in a minute.